Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to discuss about the position property in CSS. So let's get started. Okay, for that let's take the basic HTML boilerplate and I'm going to give it a title of positioning. Okay, and now let us understand what is this position all about. Position property in CSS allow us to position any particular element in any particular place on the web page, right? So as of now you cannot see anything because I have not taken anything. So let's take a div quickly, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a class of, let's say, parent. Okay, and I'm going to explain you everything, so stick around. Okay, and I'll take a child div, sorry, a box div, box, and give it a name child1. So I'm going to take 3 divs and give it child2 and child3. Okay, so what I have as of now is a parent div and 3 children div, right? So one as child1, second div is child2, third div is child3, and I have a common class of box which is applied to every single child element, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the style tag. Why is this caps lock on? Style tag, and give the parent dot parent a height of 600 pixel and a width of 600 pixel and a border of 2 pixel solid black. Okay, let's open it with live server, and we have this div, right? Now what we will do is target the box, and I'm going to apply a styling to it, a height of let's say 200 pixel and a width of 200 pixel, right? And I will target individual child element dot child1, and I'm going to give it a background of red, and I'm going to target the, okay, so I forgot to type the D over here, so it's not showing. Now it's showing. So dot child2 and give it a background of green, and the child3 and give it a background of blue. Okay, so it's RGB. Okay, pretty good. Now let us understand the static positioning. The first position is the static position, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's a default position which is applied by the browser. So even if I apply a position of static to the second child, you can see there is no change because this is the by default position that is applied by the browser, right? So there is no change you can see in this particular div, which is the child2 div, right? But look what happens if I apply a position of a relative. You know, when I apply the position relative, you can see no change, but it opens up 4 more properties, which are the top, right, bottom, and left. These are the 4 properties which are opened, and we have access to these 4 properties as soon as we apply a position of relative to it. Okay, so what happens is if I apply a top of 20 pixel, let's say, you will see that the child div, which is a div 2, is positioned 20 pixels from the top. It has shifted 20 pixel towards the bottom from the top, right? And this relative position means basically it has positioned the child2 div relative to its actual position. So its actual position was over here, right? Now it has moved, it has shifted 20 pixel from the top of its actual position. So its actual position was over here. You can see this particular part. Its actual position was this one, and it has shifted 20 pixels from the top, right? Now, if I apply a left of 20 pixels as well, you will see it will shift 20 pixels from the left towards the right, right? So it will shift 20 pixels from the left, and it has shifted 20 pixels from the top. So it is somewhere over here. It's somewhere floating over here, you know? And one thing to notice over here is basically it has not messed up the normal flow of the document, which means basically you can see it has just moved 20 pixels from the top and 20 pixels from the left. It has shifted 20 pixels from the top and shifted 20 pixels from the left. But the other two div, which is the red div and the blue div, has not acquired its position. So even if I apply a position of relative and apply a top of 200 and 200 of left, you will see this will position over here. So it has positioned 20 pixels from the top, 20 pixels from the left. So it has positioned itself over here, somewhere over here. Why? Because it has shifted 20 pixels from the top, 200 pixels from the top, and 200 pixels from the left. So if I remove the left, it will sit on top of the blue color. You will see. Okay. Pretty straightforward. No rocket science. Just it has shifted from its actual position, and it is positioned somewhere over here relative to its actual position. So this line is very important. The relative positioning positions any particular div or any particular element relative to its actual position. Okay, keep this in mind. Okay, but it does not alters or it does not messes the normal flow of the document, which means the blue div and the red div are still there where it was actually. It did not acquire the position of this particular div. So it has left its position. So the green div has left its position, but it has not allowed the other two divs to acquire its position. So it's kind of, he's kind of a very selfish kind of a person. He left his own position. He has acquired a different position, but still he does not acquire, it does not allow the other divs to acquire its own position. So it's kind of, he's the boss, you know. So his position is kind of not acquired by the other divs, right? I hope this one is clear. I hope you're getting the point. What is relative positioning? Okay. Now let us talk about the absolute positioning. Now look what happens if I apply a position of absolute to it. Absolute to it. So what absolute position does is basically absolute position positions any particular element relative to its nearest positioned parent. Listen carefully. Absolute position positions any element relative to its nearest positioned parent. What do I mean by positioned parent? Here, this child div has a parent of class parent, right? So this is the parent of this particular child div. But this particular, if when I apply a position of absolute to it, it does not position this particular div relative to its parent, which is the dot parent class, because this is not a positioned parent, right? It does not have any position. It does not have any position, right? So it is not positioned according to the dot parent class. Rather it is positioned according to the body, right? So its nearest positioned parent is not this particular class, this parent, but the body. Okay, when it does not get a positioned parent, it starts relating its position to the body. Okay, so as of now it has a position of absolute, and I have not applied any position to its parent. So it has positioned the particular div relative to the body. So the body has a position of static now, and it has shifted this, it has taken this div and started the calculation from here, from the top, right? because the body starts from here. It is the entire body. I hope you're getting the point. If you're not getting it, do comment and let me know. Okay, I'm trying my level best to make you understand the positioning, because this position is a bit tricky, you know. If once you get hold of it, you can position anything anywhere on the document, on the HTML document, right? So the body starts from here. I hope you're looking at my cursor. This is the entire body, and this particular div starts positioning it starts the calculation from this top. Now you can see there is a gap over here. This is the by default margin. So if I go to the inspect element, you can see there is a margin applied over here. So margin of 8 pixels, which is the by default margin. So what I can do is I can take the universal selector and I can remove the margin. I can make it 0. Now you will see this parent box kind of sticks towards the top, and now this box is positioned over here. So if I start calculation from the top, so it has moved the child 2 div of 200 pixels from the top, and it has shifted 200 pixels from the left, and it has positioned it over here. But if I apply a position to its parent, look what happens. If I apply a position of relative to its parent, it is positioned exactly over here. Why? Because now it's considering its nearest parent is what? This one is its nearest parent. Now it's considering this box as its parent and starting the calculation from the top of the box, and it has moved the div 200 pixels from the top and 200 pixels from the left, and now it has shifted over here, exactly over here. And now you can see it has messed up the normal flow of the document. So absolute positioning messes up the normal flow of the document, and you can see as soon as this green box shifts from its position is acquired by the blue div, right? So it has shifted, the blue div has shifted from bottom to top. Okay, so this is what an absolute position is. So let us see a very cool example. Let's make the Indian flag. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll remove all the styles from here, and I'll remove this divs, and I'll take 3 divs. Okay, so we have 3 colors in a Indian flag. So what I'll do is I'll take a div of class orange, and I'll give a general class of box to it, take 2 copies of it, give it a class of white and a class of green. Okay, now there is no style, so you can't see anything. So what I'll do is go to the style tag and apply a style to the body. Why am I applying the style to the body? Because we have a white class, right? So we won't be able to see the white properly. For that, I'm applying a background of hashtag CCC. Okay, so it has applied a gray color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to target each of the divs. So first I'll give a class a style to the box. I'll give it a height of, let's say, 150 pixel. Okay, and a width of, let's say, 200 pixel, not 200 pixel, width of 600 pixel. Okay, 600 is fine. Now I will target each of the class orange and give it a style of a background color. Background color of orange. So here we have the orange color. I think we should go a bit more further. I'm going to give it 700 pixels and take the dot white class and give it a background of white. So here we have the white color and dot green, and take it and give it a background of green. Okay, so here we have the Indian flag. Now what we have to do is we have to place the Ashok Chakra in the middle, right? So for that I have already downloaded an Ashok Chakra. I'm going to rename it and give it a small name, Chakra. Okay, give it a name as Chakra. So I've already downloaded it. Now where I'm going to place the Chakra? Inside of this particular div, right? Inside of this white div. So what I'll do is inside this white div, I'm going to take the img tag and I'm going to give it a src of chakra dot png dot. I don't know what's wrong with my, it's not allowing me to press the tab. Anyways, we have it. And now I'm going to apply a class of Chakra. Okay, and I'm going to target that class and give it a width of 200 pixel or a bit less. Maybe I'll give it a width of 150 pixel. Now it's looking nice. Now it's not visible. Okay, so I'll reduce its size to 120 pixel, and now you will see that this chakra is sticking over there on top. So we want it exactly at the center. How to position it exactly at the center? For that we will give the white, this is the parent div and this is the child, right? So we will give a position of relative to the parent. I will give a position of relative to the parent and give a position of absolute to the child. And from top I will shift it 0. From bottom I will shift it 0. From left I'll shift it 0, and from right I'll shift it 0 and give it a margin of auto. So you will see it is exactly in the center. Now what I did, let me explain you. From top and from bottom I have given it a position of 0, right? So it is exactly at the center over here. So it's 0 from the bottom and 0 from the top, and as the margin top and bottom is auto over here, it has centered it vertically at the center. And now since I've made the left and right as 0, so it has made 0 from the left and 0 from the right, and made the margin auto, so it has horizontally aligned its center, right? So this is how we can make any particular element exactly center to the parent div, right? So for that we can put top 0, bottom 0, left 0 and right 0 and put a margin of auto. We will have it exactly at the center, right? Now let us look the other two positioning, which is the fixed and the sticky. We have the two other positioning left, which is fixed and sticky. Now fixed is very straightforward. If I apply a height, I have to give a big height to it of, let's say, 200 VH. You will see I have got a scroll bar. Now if I scroll, you can see now this flag is scrolling with my page, right? But as soon as I apply a position of fixed to this particular flag, so for that I have to wrap the entire flag inside a div. So I will wrap it inside a div and give it a class of wrapper. Okay, and I will target that class dot wrapper and give it a position of fixed. Okay, now look what happens. This flag is now fixed at its position, so it will not move. It will not move until and unless I remove this position fixed from here. So it is fixed at its own position. To show you the position sticky, so I'm going to quickly make a nav bar. So for that, I'm going to apply a nav and ul li times 5, and here I'm going to apply a home, about, blog, courses, and contact, right? So here we have a basic list. Now I'll quickly apply some styles to it. So for that, I'm going to apply a nav and give it a height of let's say 200 pixel. Not 200 pixel is very large, 80 pixel is okay, and a width of let's say 100 VW. Okay, and a background of red. Okay, so let's make this a bit more darker, the red. Okay, so I have a background of red, and I'm going to apply a style to the ULLI elements. So I'm going to apply it give it a color of white, a font family of Seago, and a font size of 30 pixel. 30 pixel is too large, so let's give it a font size of 15 pixel. It's smaller, so let's give it 1.2 rems. Okay, 1.2 rems is okay, and let's make its display inline and give it a padding of 2 rems. Okay, and I'll give it a display of flex and align items center. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring a entire flexbox tutorial, so if you are not understanding anything over here, you don't have to understand. I'm just showing you the position sticky. For that, I'm making this this nav bar for you. Okay, justify content center. I'm going to quickly bring a flexbox tutorial so that you can understand what I did just now. Okay, now I'll give a margin top margin top of let's say 20 pixel. Okay, so now this nav bar is made. We have a good simple looking nav bar, and what I want is when I'll scroll up, I want this nav bar to stick on top over here. So how to do that? For that, I will apply a style to the body. I'll give it a height of 200 VH so that we get a scroll bar over here. Now you can see this nav bar is kind of scrolling with the page, right? But we want the nav bar to kind of stick over here. When we scroll, we want it to stick over here. So for that, we will apply a position of sticky to it and give it a top of 0. So we want the nav bar to kind of stick on top when it's 0 pixels, right? So it's 0 pixels, so we don't write the pixel. It's same, 0 and 0 pixel are same. So when the top will be 0 pixel, we want the nav bar to stick. So now you can see this nav bar is sticking on top. Okay, so if I increase the margin to 50 pixel, you will see this margin is a bit more larger than the previous one. Now it's sticking, you can see it's sticking. So this is the position sticky. I hope you got all the positions that I discussed. If you have any problems, you can do let me know in the comment section. I will definitely make a video and I will clear out all the doubts. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Hope you have clicked the like button, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing this channel. I'll meet you in the next video with the maybe the flex box. I'll make the next sorry for that noise. I'll make a next tutorial on flex box. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.